Chicago loves its food icons, but behind the big names is another local legend that you're not gonna see on any glamorous travel show. It was invented by an immigrant family, born out of a battle between pizzerias and hot dog stands. And for the past 50 or so odd years has quietly become one of Chicago's most unique fast food items. The Shabazz family were Assyrian immigrants who came to Chicago sometime back in the 1920s. They launched a company called Il Taco, Illinois Tamale Company. These were one of the original businesses that made the tamale so popular here in Chicago and across the country. Back in the day, hot dog stands weren't so prevalent, but hot dog carts were, so unwrapping a quick little tamale and serving it to your custies was a nice thing to do, nice little side hustle. Fast forward to the 1970s, and the hot dog carts turned into hot dog stands, right? Brick and mortars. At this point, pizzerias were opening everywhere, spreading like wildfire. It kind of had hot dog stand owners on edge. The hot dog stands needed a way to compete, so the Shabazz family came up with an ingenious idea to take pizza and turn it into something handheld, right? That idea manifested into the pizza puff, and boom, overnight, hot dog stands were able to compete with pizzerias. Kinda, in a way. Of course, a pizza puff is a little different than a piece of pizza, but you get it. Over time, the pizza puff took off, man. People really liked it. It kind of became the hot dog stand's secret weapon. To sum it up, the pizza puff was invented by an Assyrian family from Iran coming to Chicago using a Mexican tortilla and Italian flavors to create something that we all know and love today and kind of take for granted, right? Here's the thing, I already made this video a little while back, and while that version of my pizza puff was good and tasty, I think this new version that I'm about to show you today is more true to the puff. I just want to talk about a couple ingredients before we get going here. It's nothing crazy. We got a couple cheeses here, the first of which is full-fat mozzarella, which I asked my deli to slice thicker. I'll tell you why later. We're gonna dice that up into these little pieces for this first iteration. The other nugget's just a little bit of pecorino romano, which is a sharp sheep's milk cheese. Now, this is my Italian spice blend. It's the same mix that I use whenever I use Italian seasoning here on the channel. For pizza sauce, I usually use regular canned tomatoes, but today we're using actual pizza sauce. This has everything built into it, right? Seasonings, it's thicker, it's a little cooked. For our fat, instead of olive oil, we're going for this here fine beef tallow. Not sour cream. Then these here store-bought tortillas, which are actually super high quality. It's from a local tortilleria. This is 80/20 ground beef, and I like to slam it into sort of, you know, like a beef frisbee shape, salt it up. It's just gonna help things get browner on the next step. Medium-high heat, Dutch oven. All right, we're starting this off with a little bit of beef tallow. Now we're gonna sear off the beef disc. All right, we're sounding seared here. Let's see what we got. Yep. This is the crust level we're going for here. That's all flavor. We're gonna harvest that. I'm gonna chop it up now. We're gonna add in our pizza sauce. Just gonna rinse the can with a little bit of water. Pop that in. We're cooking like Nona's here. Not that any Nona would ever make this, but yeah. I'm gonna hit it with some of our Italian spice blend. So this is basically a ragu. It's like a meat sauce. You want it thick and meaty, kind of like this. Well, actually just like this. Chunk factor, level 10. We're gonna get this on a tray, just to cool it off quicker before we add the final ingredient. We're gonna hit it with some of this pecorino just right over the top here. And then our chunks of the mozz. All right, now we're just gonna mix this in. Got some nice dispersion here, so the cheese, a little bit of cheese in every bite. You know the drill. Original puff filling ready to rumble. We'll set this aside and get going on our modern one. Come on, we couldn't just make one version of a pizza puff. It's too dank. This is my, let's call it a try-hard version. Mi favorito. Giardiniera, the chunky. You can also get this minced, but I like the chunk factor in here. If it's a little too big for you, go ahead and, you know, chop that up with your knife. All right, mid-high heat. Another day, another Dutchie. We're gonna hit this with some olive oil, just a bit. Again, fatty meat, but our meat isn't beef, it is pork. All right, so we have some meat crumbs in our pot still. That's totally fine. We're gonna pop this back to medium heat and add in our olive oil, a healthy little drizzle. Then we're gonna go in with some onion, some diced onion, garlic, and our giardiniera. I drained this giardiniera, but there is a little bit of spicy oil left in, which is all good. We'll take that. And a nice big pinch of kosher. Help that sweat down a bit. We're just gonna gently cook this down, kind of harvesting that crusty meat stuck to the sides of the pot. Okay, we're gonna go in with some tomato paste, which is gonna caramelize to the bottom of the pot and create a fond. All right, now we'll deglaze with some white wine. And we'll just cook that down until it's sec, dry, which means there's barely any liquid at the bottom of the pot here. Now we'll reintroduce all of our pork, some of our Italian seasoning, maybe like 2 tablespoons for this amount of pork, some sugar to help balance things out, pecorino romano, a fair amount. This thing is like a fishing pole. So I'm using a tomato puree here, and I'm not gonna add this whole thing. I'm gonna kind of eye it to see, you know, when it starts to get chunky and thick, because we don't want this to be a runny sauce. And if you add too much, you're just gonna have to reduce it down for a long while. Okay, less is more here. We're gonna start in small increments and see where we're at. I like this because it adds a bit of freshness to the sauce. We're not cooking this too much. Yeah, something like this. I hope these aren't stale. Nice. These are homemade flour tortillas. I made these off camera because they take a long time to make, and I've made them so many times on the channel. For the classic, we're gonna use store-bought tortillas, the good stuff. For mine, we'll use these. All right, for the OG, we're going down with a store-bought tortilla, locally sourced. I just popped this in the microwave to make it a little more pliable. We're gonna pop on some of our filling right in the middle. Don't overstuff these. We're gonna go for kind of like a rectangle, I would say. So what is that? Maybe like 1.5 cups of filling. Back to front to back. You can kind of press your shape. And this is just a cornstarch slurry of water and cornstarch, right? It's just gonna help things kind of stick. That's going over. Same thing. That's going over. You can just kind of press it out, fill up that tortilla, and look, pretty sticky without anything holding it. But for extra security, we are going to puncture with a couple toothpicks here. Really make sure none of that filling comes out. For the gourmet version, we got a homemade flour tortilla. We're gonna take some of our cooled filling here, plop that in the center, same vibe. And maybe you noticed the lack of mozzarella. Don't worry, I got you. We're gonna do a slice this time. I think it melts a little nicer. I think I might do a slight little trim here. And there she blows, the gourmet pizza puff. The only thing to do after shaping these bad boyos is fry them up. Here we have the store-bought tortilla, which at first is a little on the paler side, but with that double fry, it is dang near perfect. And you can just see the difference with this homemade tortilla. A little more blistery, slightly different in color, definitely a different experience. Don't forget to remove the toothpicks. You don't want a nose piercing in your throat. For comparison's sake, I picked up a frozen pizza puff from the grocery store just to fry it up and kind of help us with our side-by-side. Oh, and I should mention, there's an entire catalog of pizza puff flavors from buffalo chicken to gyro. But I think the Italian beef and the pork sausage flavor are probably the most classic. But you tell me, what's your favorite pizza puff flavor? All right, let's crack into these puppers. If you're a pizza puff person, this is the Chicago napalm that has scarred your upper mouth. Shan't we admire this before we cut into it? I mean, look at that thing. It's definitely best-selling novel sized. Oh yeah, that's glory. Okay, my version. Oh yeah, that looks nice too. Okay, the time is upon us. My face is naturally oily, but after all that frying, it's 10x, I would say. I think we gotta start with the OG. Ooh, it's still hot. Of course, we have that tortilla that's kind of gummy because it's not a cooked tortilla. Oh, almost forgot. Now, I've had mild sauce on like ribs, fries, and chicken, but I've never had it on a pizza puff. Supposedly, it's the move. It's kind of like a super regional sauce that Harold's Chicken helped make famous. If you want a video on that, comment below. It's a whole thing. Oh, yeah. I don't think I was gonna like that. I thought it'd be too sweet. The texture of the OG pizza puff is like hilarious. It's like gum. It's like delicious gooey pizza gum. All right, we got a good baseline. Let's move down the line. This is the classic beef pizza puff, right? With the non-homemade tortilla, but locally sourced, I should say. We got the layers in there, not quite as gummy looking, but the cheese looks nice and melty. I don't even need more than 3 seconds to think about it. You can taste the beef so much more. I mean, just look at that like melty cheese too. Like this thing's been sitting for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes since it's been fried and it's still like super gooey and delicious. Yeah, not a lot of gum in this one. We're gonna use that phrase. All right, on to our fully homemade boy, right? With my special ragu. Wow, the texture of this tortilla is definitely the flakiest. Giardiniera in there, maybe could have added a little more. I like the spicy giardiniera, I like the crunch of it. But you know, you see a piece right there peeking through. I got some, it's a little spicy. Maybe some of this sweet, mild sauce. Usually I hit a pizza puff raw. The way the good Lord intended. My God, what's going on? What have I done? No, but for real, I have stuff to do. This is gonna slow me down, but I have sauce all over my face. Rubs. If I had to rank these things, 3, 2, 1. In third place, the bronze. It's kind of obvious, but it's gonna have to be the OG. Just not as flaky, the ragu not as flavorful, but guess what? It serves a purpose, and this is what started it all, so respect. In second place, it's gonna have to be this guy here with the El Milagros procured tortilla. This is amazing. I love the flake. The filling is so good and classic. Look at that orange tallow in there. I mean, it's just beautiful. But it's just not as flaky as the one slot, which you guessed it, ding, ding, ding. This guy here, the homemade tortilla, the porky ragu. It's flaky, it's gummy. Any filling in this would be really delicious, to be honest, but I really like how we placed that cheese on top so it's kind of separated. Why? I don't know, I just think it looks nice. I just like the way it feels. This is like the cooler, hotter, older cousin of a Hot Pocket. Actually, before we go, I want to show you one other fun way to kind of like elevate this puff and make it a little more special if it wasn't already. We are going to chicken parmatize this pizza puff. What does that mean? Well, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sauce, then we're gonna melt that cheese. Maybe a little pinch of parsley for some greenery, and that's it. Parmatized pizza puff. Yeah, serve this thing with a beautiful crunchy Caesar salad and a glass of Lambrusco. GG. You already know the drill. If you liked the video, if you learned something today, like the video. If you enjoy videos like this, sub to the channel. Lots more to come. Come introduce yourself in the Discord. We're chilling, we're chatting, we're talking all about food. Come post pictures of what you make. I love to see what you guys create. And if you live in Chicago, comment your favorite hot dog stand below. The best way to support the channel is the Patreon, aka the grocery fund. It helps me keep the lights on and literally do everything. Another great way to support the channel is to cop some merch here. We got the hat, the MSG hat. I also got 2 shirts. I'll link them below. That is all I have for you this time. So until next we meet, toodaloo.